My friends, how are you doing today? Are you tired and exhausted as it's heading to the end of the week? Are you feeling weary and just feeling like you've got to push more and do more, hustle more? Today, I want to talk to you about the fact that that kind of hustle is not holy. But before we get into it, let's just explore exactly what hustle means because different people understand it as different things. And unfortunately, there's a very toxic kind of hustle that has become such a strongly emphasized part of entrepreneurship. And that's the hustle that I want to talk about as being unholy. I want to break that myth that you have to hustle in that way to succeed. Different kinds of hustle. The one is just taking action, getting things done, getting on with it, and moving quickly with energy, sometimes including strategies, resourcefulness, and creativity. Yes, we do all need to take action, but there's a different kind of hustle. Can we talk about that big toxic badge of honor in entrepreneurship? The hustle that we have been taught, push harder, do more, and the fact that it is taking away our peace and we're grinding mentally, physically to do more, that we're exhausted, working long hours and living in overwhelm. And that's what it's going to take to succeed. I disagree. So recently, a lot of leaders are stepping out of that concept. I'm challenging the glorification of hustle culture as it's been known in the industry. When you're hustling, you don't have time to hug your kitty cat as she's walking past. So I want to encourage you to take a look. You don't have to sit there and do so much that you're losing your joy. You don't hear enough. Hustle isn't holy. Hustle is harmful. So I want to encourage you to reevaluate. I know this because I've worn that badge. I thought my worth was so tied to putting in long hours and showing that as evidence of my commitment. How many summits and conferences and all the rest could I go to? But God doesn't bless the kind of burnout that brings. God doesn't bless burnout. He blesses alignment. And when you don't get closer to your calling in hustle, then's not the time to stop and reevaluate. If you're running yourself into the ground, I'm encouraging you to stop right now because that kind of hustle is man driven. I'm not talking about just taking the action that's needed. I'm talking about really costing yourself your peace and joy. That kind of hustle is definitely man driven. But alignment is God led. And when you're hustling, you're often saying, I am the source. I am the authority. I am the strength behind everything that will happen. But when you're aligned, you're saying, He's in control. He is the source. There is a huge difference in that. I've seen so many entrepreneurs, specifically women who are juggling work and home and kids and all the rest, go into that long 70-hour week, feeling guilty for neglecting their family, doing back-to-back launches, trying to prove to everyone that they're committed by the number of hours they give and put in. But listen, when you trade peace for productivity, you've already lost. Ask yourself instead, Lord, what is my next faithful step? Don't ask God for the next 20 steps. Don't even ask Him for 3 steps. Definitely don't ask Him for that 3-year hustle plan so that you can sit down and mark it all out in your calendar and make sure you've got it all done by this time, regardless of the cost. I'm not saying don't plan and don't organize and don't take action. But just ask God for your next faithful step, because in that place, that's where your joy, your ease, and the love of your business will return. So here's my challenge to you. Stop glorifying that kind of hustle. Start practicing holy alignment, God's next step. This week, every time you feel pressured to do more, pause and just ask God, Lord, is this really your next step for me right now? Because hustle won't build a life or a business worth living or one that you'll enjoy, but holy alignment will.